Downtown Fargo, where culture, creativity, and community collide. You've heard the headlines. Now hear what's really happening. Bringing the best of Broadway direct to you. The stories, the people, and the places that make downtown the heartbeat of our city. This is Rocky's Downtown Hour with Rocky Schneider.
Happy Friday, everybody. This is Rocky Schneider with Rocky's Downtown Hour. Man, it must be September. We got a taste of some chills this week. But looking ahead, we got a beautiful week ahead of us. So I hope everybody got their clothes switched out a little bit, get ready for fall and all the fun that goes along with that. But it's not quite here yet. We're going to have a beautiful weekend, and next week we're back into the 70s. I think it's topping 80 at some point next week. So excited about that. We have a bunch of things on the show today that we're going to talk about that are unique and exciting about downtown. We're going to have Doug Restemeier with DS Beverages on. We're going to talk about the Clydesdales. The Clydesdales from Budweiser are going to be in downtown today at 4:30. So 4:30 to 6:30, they're going to be delivering, day old or fresh Budweiser brewed and packaged in the last 24 hours. They're going to do this fun delivery, but then you also have an opportunity to meet the Clydesdales, bring your family, take pictures, see these magnificent horses, and they're, over 6 feet tall, about 2,000 pounds. I just think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're interested, come on down to Broadway Square, at the end of the workday or after work, and enjoy it. Bring your kids or by yourself or bring a date. You'll see these cool horses that haven't been here for 7 years. So we're going to talk to Doug about what that means for Fargo and their history here. But also coming up on the show, we're going to have Jenny Sheets, and we're going to talk about an event going on tomorrow called Roaming the Red. Roaming the Red is a huge partnership between Jenny's company, but along with Fargo Parks and Moorhead Parks, and then Jenny's company, Discover Outdoors, and just a number of different things, trail builders, swing barrel, river keepers. And it's really all about embracing the Red River. And I think, growing up when we went through all the major floods. My whole life, we've been trained to fear the Red River in Fargo and the area, and it's something to be afraid of. And I think it's now that with the diversion moving forward and better control of it and, flood walls and levees and things built, I think we need to figure out how to embrace the Red River. It's not just something that divides Fargo and Moorhead. It's really our lifeblood. It's how we were born, right? We were born on the river, and the cities grew out of the river. And so now we need to grow almost back into the river and figure out how do we embrace that. And tomorrow is a big part of that. It's called Roam in the Red. There's 24 hours almost of activity programming. And I'm excited to talk to Jenny about it, but just want to spend a moment to talk about what that river means to downtown. When you go down there right now, it's been dark by the river, right? We have trail system that is an amazing trail system, but it's kind of a placeholder for when floods came and went. But now we have beautiful trail system on both sides of the river. We're working on, wayfinding signage and how can we improve that. We've talked about increased lighting along the river. We've put up some new lights underneath the bridges to brighten those areas. We've obviously passed some issues with, encampments along the river to try to make sure we keep those free and safe for everybody to utilize. And, I think even last week or 2 weeks ago or last week, if you look on City of Fargo's YouTube page, you can look at the convention center proposal. There's a convention center proposal that really is all about embracing the river. I think for so long we're saying, we got to build further south and get away from the river, all this stuff. But if you look at it, a convention center should be downtown. It should be near activities. It should be walkable to things. But also we should be embracing the river. It's a beautiful spot if not for a convention center, it's for something else. I hope developers take a look at that river now as an amenity and really build with the views and the sights of that. And we work on our activities, on the trail system, but also kayaks and other sort of adventurous things there. I know we do cross-country skiing in the winter, snowshoeing, all sorts of things. And I think tomorrow's event with the Joint Park District is really trying to let people know there's so much you can do along the riverfront. And other communities have figured this out. You look at any other major downtown, and that riverfront is the gem of the downtown. And in our area, it's kind of the darkness of our downtown and our community. If you look at it at night or any events, for some reason, both on the Moorhead and Fargo side, we're both guilty of it. We're scared of the river, and we've moved away from it for somewhat good reason, but we're not there anymore. We need to figure out how to get back to that natural, it's flat here, right? We're a prairie. So we got to embrace the natural features that we have, and the river is the best thing we have, and we need to figure out how to both enjoy it as a community, as quality of life, but also how to monetize it too with tourism, with kayak rentals and all sorts of things you can do along there. But it's a great amenity, and I'm looking forward to talking to Jenny about what she sees in the river and sees with the outdoors. But before we get to that, we're going to have Doug Restemeier on, and he's going to talk about what the event later today with the Budweiser Clydesdales of town. And then next week, just want to give you a preface because we got a big event going on next Friday. It's our first ever downtown Fargo fashion show at Broadway Square. And we'll have a couple people on the radio to talk about the fashion show. It'll be from 5 to 7 on Friday. It's another free event at Broadway Square. Everybody's welcome. There's going to be a DJ. We have, I think, 12 different boutiques that will have models. And if you've never been to a fashion show before, it's an easy one to check out. It's free. Come sit down. We'll have specialty cocktails served there by Proof Distillery. And we'll have DJ Pretty Ricky on the DJ there, spinning up some tunes. It'll be a great vibe, and hope everybody can come down and enjoy that. But also, I just want to make sure that you're ready and have your plans for this weekend, because if not, you should come down, check out the horses. These is unique, and I'm so excited to talk to Doug about this. And then we won't have enough time with Jenny. That's what I want to say. When Jenny comes on, we're going to talk about the whole event tomorrow, Roaming the Red. But I encourage you to Google it. There's everything from yoga to a dog parade to, introduction to mountain biking. There's just exploring the rivers. There's a family scavenger hunt. I think there's also an after party, thanks to Confluence and Swing Barrel down at Gooseberry. And so it extends from everywhere downtown, from Dyke East all the way over to Moorhead to Gooseberry. And it really shows everything you can do along the river. I guarantee you there's something on there that will appeal to you. You're probably not going to do every event, but that's the best part about this too, is you can come and go and just hop in. And we're looking forward to that. And, downtown is a unique place. We're going through some challenges right now. And it's always interesting because every event that I see downtown or we have downtown gets rave reviews. It's full, it's packed. And then you also see news about businesses struggling. And so just asking people, it's okay to come downtown when there isn't an event. It's a pretty special place. There's always something going on. You don't need to have a ticket to enjoy downtown. It's free. There's plenty of parking, lots of new parking ramps, lots of new stores and restaurants. And I just encourage you to explore it. That's how our community continues to build these nice and unique and great things. It also allows us to create those public spaces that we can use along the river at Broadway Square, Island Park, like the Island Park pool and everything else. This is how we embrace those things, by building our tax base and supporting our local businesses. And so I know those local businesses are out there every day with their shingle out, selling their wares and building their dreams. And so just think about that when you're shopping online or shopping somewhere else, that try to support our local vendors wherever they are in town, but especially come downtown and check out what we have to offer. And also check out the events, stay later, just come early. And today is a special one. So we're going to have Doug Restemeier on next to talk about Clydesdales and what that means coming to Fargo. Welcome back. This is Rocky Schneider on Rocky's Downtown Hour. We're joined by Doug Restemeier from DS Beverages. Doug, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Rocky. Good to be here.
Why don't you give us an overview? What is DS Beverages?
What is DS Beverages?
Yeah, so for
you don't know?
Well, I know.
Well, DS Beverages is your local Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch beer distributor. Plus, we distribute about 100 other suppliers, but Anheuser-Busch is our major supplier.
Yeah, and it's been a staple in the area for a long time, generations.
Generations, yeah. Well, Budweiser's 1876. We've been around as a company since 1968, and that's when my father-in-law started the company. He actually bought it from the previous owner, which was Dwyer Beverage at that time. So it's been around. Here's a fun fact for you.
Yeah.
You know who the first Budweiser distributor was in Fargo-Moorhead?
No.
Well, our airport is named after him.
Oh, Mr. Hector.
Martin Hector.
Yeah.
He was the official first Budweiser distributor.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Back in the late 1800s.
Huh. Well, some history for everybody.
I've got lots of history for you.
So, exciting day in downtown, exciting day for you guys, and a couple days here. You have the Clydesdales coming.
Clydesdales are here. They're at Jubilee Horse Farm right now. Little shout out to the dolls out there. They do a phenomenal job at that Jubilee Horse Farm. So they're in the midst of luxury at the Jubilee Horse Farm, and they'll be. We were actually had them out last night. We were at the North Dakota Air Guard, the 119th Air Wing. So we did a showing out there. Well, the weather was kind of horrible, so we only brought one horse out there, but it was great. the people out there are so genuine and
And so
appreciative.
when I was working with your team on this event downtown today, it starts at 4:30 to have the Clydesdales down there. But I saw some black and white pictures from the 60s or something like that. And so this has been going on a long time to come and do this sort of, I would say, dog and pony show, almost literally. But yeah, it's a cool thing that's been going on for decades.
Well, decades, yes. Actually, 1933
Oh, wow, yeah.
was when it started. And the Clydesdales became a thing with Anheuser-Busch when the two sons of Augustus Busch actually gave him a present when Prohibition ended. So April 7th of 1933, the two boys decided to say, oh, nice present would be 6 horses with this beautiful hitch attached to it. And Augustus, being the smart guy he was, he said, you know what, I think we could use this as a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
And so then they did a tour on the East Coast. They actually delivered a case of beer to the senator up in New York that was kind of instrumental in getting Prohibition ended. And then they delivered one to Franklin Roosevelt.
Oh.
And thank you to FDR for getting it pushed through the 21st Amendment that allowed the breweries to get back in business to help end the Depression.
Yeah, it's some effective lobbying. Is Mayor Mahoney getting a special delivery today or anything? Yeah.
Ooh, put me on the spot there. Mayor Mahoney, I can definitely get you a case of cold, day fresh Budweiser.
I'm sure the Irish side of the mayor would appreciate that, but yeah.
Maybe I could take a swing by the city hall and drop off a few cases
Yeah,
there.
you could call it history, Yeah.
Do they allow beer in City Hall? I don't know.
That's a good question. Not probably not legally, but yeah.
But if it's day fresh, they'd
Day
make an
fresh.
exception.
Yeah, so we're gonna have day fresh. So there's 14 different stops you're doing downtown, but also Bottle Barn and Happy Harry's and everybody else is gonna have this day fresh. What does day fresh Budweiser mean?
Yeah, we're actually delivering to about, I think, 90 accounts today. Starting in a couple hours, we'll be starting to deliver. What does day fresh mean? Well, it means that it's very fresh Budweiser. They package it at the brewery in St. Louis. They pop it on a truck. They have a team driver, and they get it here. And then we disperse it to our retail partners. We've done this, believe it or not. I think this is our 11th time. Now, we've had a hiatus. The last time we did it, I think, was pre-COVID. And so there's a little change, so people should be aware. When we used to do Day Fresh Budweiser, they could see on the bottle that it was packaged on that date because we used born on dating for our package codes. Well, now, several years ago, we switched to actually pull dates. So they're not going to see that it's today's date on the bottle, but trust me, it's fresh Budweiser.
So
And they'll be able to tell by the taste.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Do you have to be a connoisseur to really taste the difference, or is it?
I don't think so, because I've get all sorts of people saying when they have it, says, "Wow, that is really good," and it's different than what they're accustomed to. So I think it tastes different. It might be a little psychological, it might be a little marketing behind it, but
Yeah.
hey, it sells beer, and it gives people another reason to try Budweiser, because Budweiser is the one that kind of started the whole lager movement in our country, and brought over here by Augustus Busch. And that was the Germans drank lager beer. Prior to that, in America, everybody was drinking ales.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, well, it's called Anheuser-Busch, and it comes from, across the pond. It's nothing more American, I think, than grabbing a Budweiser and celebrating a nice weekend or something. So.
Well, and especially around here, because the reality is a lot of the barley that's in the Budweiser that you're drinking is grown right here. And unfortunately, we don't have the malt plant anymore, because it used to be that you grow the barley here, it gets malted at the malt plant, shipped down to St. Louis, and comes back as Bud Light, Mick Ultra, Busch Light. And so but it's still, a lot of the barley here, we still contract with barley farmers here, and it still goes into Budweiser.
So we're talking about day fresh Budweiser that's getting delivered, and the Clydesdales. The horses are going to be downtown today, 4:30 to 6:30, right at Broadway Square on 2nd Avenue there. So if you're interested in coming seeing these, 6 foot tall, ton, 2,000 pound animals, and take pictures, bring your family. It's going to be an event for everybody. Come on down to downtown and try a beer at one of the local establishments and take some pictures.
Yeah, and if you can't make it today, there's a couple other opportunities. We'll be tomorrow, Saturday, 1 to 3. We'll be at West Acres. So you won't be able to miss it. There'll be 3 big semis, red semis. Look for them right on the south end on the north end of West Acres, and then Sunday we'll actually be in Moorhead, the American Legion, and that'll be from 2 to 4. So you can watch them get hitched up, and you can take lots of photos. So we got some good opportunities, and the weather looks pretty good, so it'll be perfect.
Yeah, it's, we had a couple cold days this week that reminded everybody what's coming, but we're not there yet. And so it's a great day to still get outside and try something new. What can people expect if they come to Broadway Square and watching the horses get hitched up? What's that like?
Well, what I'd encourage people to do is try to get there at 4:30, because that's when we'll be actually hitching up the horses. And they bring 10 horses, but they hitch 8. So they have a couple spares, like spare tires. But they'll hitch up 8 horses. That'll take, 20, 30 minutes to actually hitch up the all 8 horses. And that's quite a production, really. And you'll see them in full glory. They braid their manes with the roses, and they get a bath. They pretty much get a bath every day, but they'll be pristine. And then we'll take off from there, and we'll spin around up Broadway and back down Broadway, doing our deliveries. And then we'll end up back at front of the RDO, in front of the plaza, and they'll be there for another hour, just so people can take pictures and enjoy. And so I think it'd be a great afternoon, Friday afternoon. In the fall, what else do you want to do? And then have a cold Budweiser and perfect afternoon, if you ask me.
Yeah, maybe just, community update. So I've been calling this, when we try to think about doing the logistics of something like this, I call it like a one float parade almost, where there will be some traffic backup, as the horses make their way down, but it shouldn't be bad. So if you have just a little patience out there, the horses will make their way down each block, and they'll get around. It doesn't close any roads or anything like that. Just might be a little slower for a couple minutes. And so just take care, everybody. We're having a good time trying something downtown. This is the first time in 7 years, I think, that they've been back here.
Yeah, I believe you're right. 7 years.
And yeah, hopefully we get them back every a couple of years after that.
Yeah, well, we're pretty lucky in terms of what we get. Fargo-Moorhead probably gets the horses more than pretty much any other community I know of, because we've gotten them about every 2 to 3 years. We've had the horses here, and but that it never gets old. And I'd encourage people, if you haven't seen them, you really owe yourself to do that. And the kids, it's Budweiser and that, but these are an iconic Americana thing that the kids enjoy, just seeing a beautiful, beautiful animal.
Yeah, if you're into any sort of Americana history or marketing or anything else, that's really a study. The use of these horses and the marketing potential of them. It's like there's so much you could do, almost a whole marketing semester on how Budweiser's utilized this to kind of build the brand. Yeah,
I read somewhere that the Budweiser Clydesdales are the second most recognized logo in the world. You know what the first one is?
It's gonna go McDonald's.
You're right.
Oh, look at
the
that.
little M. Yep.
All right.
So that's number one.
I wanted a fresh Budweiser. Just kidding. What did I win?
You win a case of Day Fresh Buds.
Yeah, I was going to go with Coke, and then I realized that McDonald's is probably.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a rich history of the whole Budweiser brand, and of course today's market is so totally different. Back in the day when my father-in-law started this, I think he said he had seven actual SKUs. Like just 7 items, and it was back then. It was Busch Bavarian. And it was Budweiser and Michelob in only on draft. And now I think our latest count, we have 1,500 different SKUs in our warehouse. And of course, we've expanded into things beyond beer, non-alcoholic beverages, and
okay. So spend a minute, because I love your new drink, your water drink, your flavored waters in the can, which is always unique. And I think people see the can and they think, oh, you're drinking something alcoholic.
Well, you're probably talking about Liquid Death.
Yeah.
And everybody, they think it's some 14% alcohol product, but it's not. It's just water. It's sparkling. Most of them are sparkling. There is also one that's still. But it's Death to Plastic is their marketing deal. So it's all in aluminum cans, not in plastic. And it's the best tasting water you'll find. And I sell it, but it is really good water. It comes in like 14 different flavors. My favorite is orange. They have an orange, they have a cherry, they have teas, and they actually have real tea and some caffeine in some of those. So it's a great brand, and it's growing like crazy.
All right. So, thank you for coming on today. We have 4:30. Come on downtown and see the Clydesdales. They'll be around for a couple hours, but get there early, see them get hitched up, and experience this kind of folklore of Americana with the Clydesdales. And Doug, thanks for coming on. Appreciate
good.
all you do
Thanks
for
for
the
having me.
community. Yeah. And when we're back, we'll have Jenny Sheets talking about roaming the red. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Rocky's Downtown Hour. I have Jenny Sheets with me today. And
Hello.
We're talking about an amazing event called Roam the Red. What is Roam the Red?
Roam the Red is an entire day of trails exploration happening tomorrow the 6th from 8:30 in the morning to 7 o'clock at night from Dyke East in Fargo to Gooseberry Park in Moorhead and all the trails in between. We'll have activities all day.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to talk about. It's like every hour is a completely different use of the river trails.
It is. We've got biking, hiking, birding, children's story time, nature activities. We even have a survival skills class. We have so much going on the whole day.
I know. And so if you think the river trails are about one thing, I guarantee you'll look at this and go, oh, I didn't know we also did that along the river.
I'm still finding new trails all the time, and I'm an avid user. It's so cool to see, like, oh, hey, I didn't even know that little dirt trail existed, or I didn't know our paved trails connect all the way up north here or south there. It's so cool.
So before we dive into that, who is Jenny Sheets? How'd you get involved in this?
Hi, I'm Jenny Sheets. I founded Discover Outdoors, which is a social design company. So I really work on bringing people together, especially outside. But I grew up here in Fargo, but then spent 16 years in Montana. So I'm an avid outdoors person, love being outside. So wanted to bring that to the Fargo-Moorhead area with this big event.
That's awesome. I don't know if you heard the start of the show too, but I growing up here, we're trained to fear the river, right?
It's true.
I mean, that's our generation is fearing the river. It's floods. It's dangerous. Don't swim in it.
Yeah, it's
all these
gross.
things.
It's dirty, which is not true.
Yeah. And so we have all these fears. And so Fargo and Moorhead, it's like divided us as a community where every other downtown in the country, big city, like just leans into their river.
Oh, yeah.
The
Embrace
riverfront's
it.
like where their tourism happens.
Yep. And I'm hoping, the river diversion, hopefully over the years, will add a lot to it as well. But for now, like foot traffic, bike traffic, get down there and see. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, the trails are great, and I think we have more progress being made on them on both sides of the river now that we know they're protected, and signage, lighting, activities, everything else just needs to kind of follow along with it.
Yeah.
But so tomorrow,
It will come.
When's it start? Roam the Red.
8:30 a.m. We got free coffee going at the Dyke East Park in Fargo. So that's over by the dike where the rapids are. We'll have some lawn games.
I like to say it's downtown.
Downtown, yes,
There
it's
you go.
the downtown park.
Yes.
So, and then free coffee. We've got yoga going on down there, kids yoga and adult yoga, and then head on over to Gooseberry Park. So it's kind of you can bounce around all day. It's a choose your own adventure day. We've got a guided bird walk by the Audubon Society. We even have a dog parade. How cute is a
That's
dog
awesome.
parade?
Yeah.
Bring your dog down on the leash and walk around. River Keepers is going to be there. The Moorhead Public Library. We're doing painting on the prairie. I didn't even know this. Talk about discovering new trails. There's a little park. It's the prairie on the Fargo side between Lindenwood and the Dyke East called, I think, Ponchi's Park.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do painting down there. So painting in the prairie. It's going to be so cool. And then it goes all the way to the afternoon. We have events all day long. Google Roam the Red to see the full schedule. Starting at 4 o'clock then is our trailhead after party in Gooseberry Park. We're going to have DJ One Pretty Ricky, Mama G's Taqueria, Mix Office. They have a food truck, and Lundy's Ice Cream along with a bunch of games. That goes from 4 to 7. Just a time to share your adventures for the day and meet some new friends.
My dog just texted me and asked, what does he win in the dog parade?
Your
if he's, like,
dog
the best
texted
dog?
you. Wow, I think that if your dog's texting, he already wins for sure.
No, he's been in a few of the parades downtown, and I swear when he walks in a parade, he thinks the whole parade is for him.
Oh, he just like ruffles his little hairs
He
and
struts.
wags the tail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves
Well, I think the prize will be some great photos and making some new puppy friends.
some treats.
Some
Yeah.
treats, yeah.
There we go. That's perfect. Okay, and I'm really curious about the survival skills. What are we going to learn for survival skills? Do you have any
So that's put on by Brody from Midwest Outdoors. He is loves to camp, be outside. So he wants to bring some of that to the Fargo-Moorhead area of, what do you need to know if for just basic survival on what happens, how do you make a shelter? How do you stay alive? Kind of like baseline. We're not going to let anybody get lost during this event, I promise. But if you're out in the woods, and you're just curious on like, what could I be using if I were to have to spend the night? Making a fire, kind of basic things like that. It's all ages. That's going to be a cool one.
And I think that's the important part about all these events is it's it's supposed to be entry level. You can go
Absolutely.
to bird watching. You don't need to have your own binoculars.
No, they're going to
bird
bring
watching.
everything for you. The nature walk and talk is if you just want to explore the trails for the first time, that's an awesome entry one at 3 p.m. starting at Gooseberry of just go meet some new friends, follow some people on the trail, and head back then for some great food. It is very entry level.
I think the thing we always miss around here is that, I mean, we're a prairie, so it's pretty flat. And, you know, you look any other city, they embrace their topography or their natural features. It's like, this is our river. It's our natural feature. We need to figure out how to embrace it more. And these are all the different options. It's like, I can't think of anything that's not on here that happens in the summer down there.
Yeah, we want people. I mean, we're gonna have hammocks, so you can just sit and read a book if you want. I think if you've never been to the trails before, you'll be really surprised we're gonna have very good signage, so you can just dip into the woods and you'll see dirt trails and mountain bike jumps, which you can hit if you want. You don't have to, but just to see what's being developed in the trees, it's gonna be really eye opening for a lot of people, and I hope exciting.
And so it's not just Jenny out there. This is Fargo Park District, Moorhead Park District. Everybody's embraced this, and it's like all in with, I don't even know how many different groups. You have all these different events going on, but there has to be like a couple dozen different partners in this.
We've got, Fargo Parks and Moorhead Parks have been awesome to work with. It's a really unique collaboration where it all kind of happened fast. I pitched the idea and they've split the budget and the work, and everybody's coming together to make this happen. And then all of our vendors are volunteering their time. And we have the Moorhead Public Library, River Keepers, Audubon Society, United Prairie Foundation, FM Trail Builders, the Great Plains Children Museum, Lake Agassiz Pacers, Midwest Outdoors, so much more. The after party's sponsored by Confluence. There are so many people involved because I think when I really approach people with this idea, people are pining for activities outdoors and along the rivers. I think people just sometimes need an excuse. You know, it's a little hard to venture out on your own sometimes on a new adventure. So this is a great excuse.
No, I love that. That's why I say about our downtown events. It's the chance to come down and experience it when you know it's going to be organized. You know, there's going to be signage, there's going to be people helping you out so that you can come back by yourself and just do it on your own.
That's the goal, is that we want people to come down, read some maps, explore on your own, ask some questions, feel like it's a really safe entry point, and then come back on your own and start your own adventure.
Okay, so what's Jenny's can't miss item on the...
Oh, can't miss. I mean, I love to run. I know I'm one of those crazy people, so I'm super excited about the guided run.
Miss?
My second. All right, scrap running. That one's not happening. I think, can't miss. Gosh, there's so many. I'm really excited about painting the prairie. If you've got kids, check out the kids' nature art journaling. That's going to be done at Gooseberry at 1:00 by the Great Plains Children's Museum. They're raising money to build a children's museum, doing awesome activities around the community. But then, like, for me personally, I'm super excited to grab a beer from Swing Barrel Brewing at the end of the day and talk to people about their adventures.
Yeah, Swing Barrel does a great job, and they're always community-oriented. It's helpful.
Oh, yeah.
So for those of us with somewhat stubborn teenagers, how do we get them out of the house, off their devices, and get down here? What's the hook?
The stubborn teenager. Ooh, okay. Well, gosh, I have a 4-year-old, so I got the bubbles out. I got the games. Yep. For the teenagers, challenge them to a hike in the woods to see if they can do it. I feel like teenagers are that stubborn kind of like, I could go hike in the woods. Yeah. Like, let's do it. Let's go see what we can find. There are some guided hikes and mountain bike rides if you've got bikes. And then, bribe them with a mix office burger if you have to, right? Get them out. Burger usually works.
Okay, so why, you came back to Fargo, which is awesome. I love people that come back to the area. But what's important to you? So you created an outdoor company. Why is that important to you? And why is this event important to get people off their devices outdoors and experience nature?
It is so important to me. I think the outdoors, I'm not alone in saying this, has saved my life. It is incredible therapy to go outside. There's a lot of research behind what happens when you're outside and you can calm down and relax in nature. The things like forest bathing, if you've ever heard of that, people go on walks to really bathe themselves with the nature, not literally, but so I wanted to bring that to the Fargo-Moorhead area where we have a lot of really beautiful amenities. I think that they're very underutilized. So, there's a famous saying of write the book that you want to read. I think build the community where you want to live. And so if we don't have mountains here and we don't have all the established trails that I had back in Montana, well, let's just build it, right? And so I want to do these events where we can get people outside and selfishly, or maybe I can make some friends who are also interested in the outdoors, because I think people want it here. They just haven't known how to start.
No, and I love that. And I think it's so important for downtowns too to, we have this growing 5,000 population that lives downtown, but we're near trails. And I
So close.
We're working on signage right now and working with the parks to try to connect that signage to the trail system, to Island Park, to these other things, because it's so important, even if you're in an urban area, to make sure you still can have easy access to parks.
Oh,
Everyone
it's
deserves
huge.
it. And
Next week we're going my family's taking a trip to Minneapolis just for a little vacation, and we always bring our bikes and hit up their trails. The signs are great. The trails are really established and connected, and we love doing it in the city because then we can pop into a coffee shop or a restaurant. And the same with Fargo is you're only a couple blocks to these amazing trail systems, but we need the signage and we need people to know that they're there.
all right, so we're talking about Roam the Red, and I want to thank Jenny for coming on today. If Google it, it's an amazing event tomorrow. It's all day. It's everything from yoga to nature walks to painting the prairie to a fun swing barrel led party tomorrow night at Gooseberry. So look at it, looking for something to do. It's going to be nice weather. Jenny, any final thoughts or shout outs?
I hope you guys come. It's going to be a little chilly, but hey, if it was 50 degrees in March, we'd all be thrilled. So dress up and come out tomorrow. Come say hi.
Awesome. Roam the Red. Google it. You'll enjoy it.
It's going to be fun. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. And we'll see you. We'll come back in a couple minutes. Welcome back to Rocky's Downtown Hour. We had just had our amazing guests on. We had Doug Restemeier on to talk about the Clydesdales that are going to be downtown starting at 4:30 today. Come on down. This is a really unique experience for us. We haven't had the Clydesdales here in 7 years. Kind of an Americana marketing history. They're part of history. These 2,000-pound animals will be in our downtown for free. Come down, take some pictures, see them, and then stop in and have a day fresh Budweiser somewhere and just experience part of our history in downtown, part of our history in the country. So that'll be really fun. So Broadway Square, it's free right on 2nd Avenue there. Come on down, find some parking, hop out, spend some time down there, grab dinner, those sort of things. And then we're talking about Roam the Red, and I was really excited about this event. It's tomorrow. It's a huge partnership between a lot of different organizations and the park districts on both sides of the river. But all day tomorrow, there's going to be events along the river. To me, this should be a premier event in the area. There's something for everybody: scavenger hunts, yoga, bicycling. There's a painting. There's even an after party with swing barrel. And Confluence is hosting that. So I think there's just so much fun to embrace the river. We need to change the trajectory of how we talk about the river. It's not something to fear and be afraid of anymore. As when I grew up, it was all about flooding and danger and dirty water. It's, that stuff's not as true anymore. And so I think we need to embrace it and learn how to make the most of it, increase our quality of life here. Also want to just encourage everybody. We have a lot going on downtown, and the city commission in Fargo is going to be talking about a number of these items at their next city commission meeting. And so make your voices heard. Don't be afraid to reach out. We see a lot of posts about downtown on Facebook and elsewhere, but I want to make sure you're also contacting your city officials or your city staff. Let them know about your experience downtown, both good and bad, things, improvements. We need that feedback. Downtown is such an important, vital driver and catalyst for all of our culture, all of our economy. I think people almost take it for granted. When I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, downtown was dead and it was empty, and our city suffered for it. We didn't have that tax base. We didn't have that sort of shining star for the guests that came to town, because when you go anywhere in Fargo, there's a lot of nice areas, a lot of nice houses, a lot of nice developments, but you can almost be in any suburb in anywhere in the country, and it's nice place to live, but it's not unique. It's not going to draw that next investment, that next recruitment that you're bringing in from some other city to try to work at your company. We need our downtown to shine in that. We need, when students come to NDSU, we need them to see downtown as an event center, as a recreation area, as somewhere to go for culture and something different. And so I think that's what makes us different in downtown. And so we do things like these Budweiser Clydesdale events. They're going to be, downtown today, but if not, check them out. They're going to be at West Acres tomorrow too, and they're going to be at the American Legion in Moorhead on Sunday. Just a huge part. There's been doing this since the 1930s, and so it's a huge part of history. Embrace it and have a good time. But I also encourage you, while you're doing these events, because our events are always popular, they're always busy, but stop in, embrace our local economy here. I know times can be tough with money and everything else, but if you're going to spend it somewhere, pick a local business. Choose somewhere to stop in and grab a burger, a bite to eat, grab a gift, clothes. Just take an extra second before you quick that, one-click purchase online. people don't just talk about shopping local because it sounds good or they're driving their own, revenue, their own pocketbooks. It makes a huge difference on the local economy when you buy something locally and the ripple effect that creates. These are all of our friends and neighbors, and people rely on this, and then, they make money and then they go spend it out in the local economy, and it all comes around. But when we do that one-click purchase online, it goes somewhere else and some other economy benefits, some other city benefits. So if you're going to be spending money, make sure you're getting some of that benefit back by spending it locally. And that's the beauty of downtown. We have a number of local, unique restaurants and local shops, a lot of makers downtown. It's a good time. So while we talk about events almost every Friday here on this show, the purpose of these events are to drive people to come experience what downtown is, experience something different, break the mold of your day-to-day to come down and experience something different. But then also we need the city's help here a little bit. They've done a number of great things. We had some challenges along the riverfront last year that we've taken care of. We've built some more parking ramps and have secured them. And so now we're kind of leaning into this public space along Broadway, Broadway Square, and the businesses along Broadway. They need help from the city officials. And so please let them know that without that downtown's tax base, everyone else suffers. Without that downtown's, kind of front door for the community, it's easy to point at and say it's different. And, different is sometimes scary to people, or change is different and change is scary. But downtown's where memories are made here. It's where people have unique memories growing up, going to culture, going to events. And we need to embrace that for not just our generation that got to appreciate it, but for the next generation too. And in order to keep that here and keep things going, we gotta embrace what we have in our community. Don't just embrace the things that every community has in their suburbs. That's not how we continue to get these type of experiences like the Clydesdales coming. They come to downtown for a reason. These cultures and events and shows at Fargo Theater, shows at the new Fargo-Moorhead Community Theater, or the Cellar, and comedy clubs. These are drawing in people because we have an amazing downtown and people love it. People still travel here all the time and leave with amazing reviews because our downtown is unlike any other in the country. It's unique and it's different, and we have unique stores and unique restaurants. So I just want to have everybody experience that. Check out downtownfargo.com. We have an event calendar. Plan your next weekends. But for this weekend and today, come on, visit the Clydesdales, have a Budweiser, or just bring your family and take pictures of these animals. And then tomorrow, roam the Red. Embrace the Red River, everybody. This is what our community was born because of the Red River. We've gone away from it, got scared of it. It flooded a lot, and now we need to control it again and make it ours. Bring the community back to the Red River, and that's what it's all about tomorrow. Google Roam the Red, and it's everything from yoga to scavenger hunts to a dog parade. You'll just have a good time. Come outside, enjoy the last couple of weekends of what we have for our summer, and spread joy and say hi and smile at everybody else you see, and that's make our community proud and share what you love about it. Otherwise, we'll come back and talk to you next week. We're going to talk about our fashion show, and we're going to talk about an update with United Way next Friday as well. Everybody have a great weekend. Take care.